you already. I don't have a girlfriend over there.
After the summer holiday, some girl pity don't make it back to school, you know.
Calm yourself, Roy.
Oh, damn, I never read it. She has grown too much and has become a distraction to my son.
You worry too much. He's a virile young man. If he didn't find Sarah attractive, something would be wrong with him.
But let me tell you something. Proverbs chapter 6 between 16 and 17 says, God hates those who take reward in slaying it. Hallelujah. Oh, Lord.
You don't understand. I talk to my mother once a week, sometimes for 5 minutes. I don't know her. And on top of that, I don't know who my father is.
But Lou, you have to understand that Lisa is a special child. I could have seated her from the day she born.
God, you are amazing.
Welcome to Remake TV. I'm Jasmine Bowen and you are watching What's Going On, and we have a whole studio full of special guests for you today. But before we do that, would you like this check to say your name and $500? That's right, $500. It's simple. Click on our contest banner, enter your friends' names, tell them about all the great videos that you watch at Remake TV, and there you go. Every friend is another chance to win $500 this month. And at the end of our contest, one lucky winner will receive $10,000 just for telling their friends about all the stuff you heard at Remake TV and all the great people like the cast in our studio today of I Need to Know My Father. So welcome, guys. Thanks so much for coming out. All right. I can already tell this play is going to be great by how excited you are. All right. Well, Marcia, why don't you tell us a little bit about the production?
The production, of course, is called I Need to Know My Father. It's the first play that I've written. Mm-hmm. It goes into the life of a 16-year-old girl who did not get the privilege of knowing her father. Mm-hmm. Through due to some decisions that were made by adults, that she did not need to know the circumstance of how she was conceived. Mm-hmm. It was hidden, bring shame or any kind of what word am I looking for? The family. So yeah, sorry, this word. I'm glad this is on beside me. Yeah. So and so she grows up. She's 16. She's brilliant. She's smart, and she says enough is enough. I don't care what happened 16 years ago. I don't care. I just need to know who my father is. And she goes on this, war path or vengeance or whatever to know who this person is. Who the other half of the person who brought her into the world.
Now, was this inspired by personal events?
Personal events, I've been asked that because I didn't know my father as well. Mm-hmm. So there could be a little bit of truth into the story where I am concerned. But of course, you embellish, when you reach a stage, you add other stuff to it. So this story is actually telling the story of many, many, many people. Right. And that's why it is so popular.
All right, well, let's meet some of the cast and crew. So welcome, guys. Why don't we start here?
My name is Jason Brown. Mm-hmm. I play Jonathan Bonovich Jr. Okay. And what I mean, that name doesn't mean anything to us.
I'm the son of Jonathan Bonovich Sr., the wealthy family.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. And also the son of my mother to my right here.
Okay.
Which is Lena Allen Rowe. Sorry, I forgot.
Claire, yes, Claire.
Okay. And how long have you been rehearsing this play?
Quite some time now.
All right.
I call you know, my mom. I don't.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right.
Basically.
My name is Kayla McLaughlin, and I play the role of Lisa Bonovich, kind of. There was some deliberation on that, but yeah. So that's my character. And
All right.
My name is Rochelle Robinson, and I also play the character Lisa.
You also do.
Yeah, we both share the role.
Ah.
And well, the daughter of mother over here.
Okay.
And, soon to know father.
Now, is one of you an understudy for the role? Or are you both just...
They're alternating.
Yeah.
They're alternating. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Letna Allen Rowe, and I play the role of Mrs. Claire Bonovich,
Okay.
who is the fiery, saucy, rich, entrepreneurial mother who has this charming young son who she wants no one except a pedigree to date. And seeing a mongrel with her son, you know, is devastating.
And how did you get this role?
Well, I get this role because I am who I am.
Okay.
And I carries the role with much delight and pride. And of course, in the show, there are many, many Mrs. Bonoviches in the audience. Many Mrs. Bonovich, many women in there who share the same sentiments. They hate me, but they share the same sentiments.
Yeah.
Because once you see the play, you would never want your son, who is a university graduate, who was trained to become a lawyer to take over his father's business, dating somebody who is not going anywhere.
Ah. Well, it sounds like a very interesting role.
I play the role of Jonathan Bonovich Sr. My name is Kevin Davis.
Okay.
I am the wealthy family.
Okay, now let's draw. So you're...
His father.
Okay.
And
Husband.
mother.
Husband. Okay. Mother.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So far.
So wife, son.
Got it.
Law firm, rich law firm. At the beginning of the play, they are well established. By the end of the play, they are just over the top wealthy. He has control in the business world, but at home, he's a very emasculated man. He really cows down to her. She's very overbearing. And what sets the play off really is that at the beginning, he's, you know, very timid to her. But in the end, he brings a lot to the forefront that she didn't expect, kind of put her in her place.
So a little bit of a twist.
Exactly. Of course, you can see the way she carries herself in the play is just what you see here. So it's really good. The audience really gets that effect because they really want to put her in her place. And finally, the man plays the man role and puts it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, you say?
Yeah.
I am Marcia Brown, and I play the grandmother, great-grandmother. I play Mrs. Louise Perkins.
And who wrote the play, Marcia?
Yes.
Okay.
And also direct.
Oh. Yes. And I play Louise Perkins, Christian over the top, you know, and our granddaughter is Sarah Perkins. She's 16. She gets pregnant, which in our world, it should never happen because we child by belief, you know, we just believe that she's gonna get married and, you know, it should never happen in our household. So when we get the news, when we finally pull it out of her that she's actually pregnant at 16, it's all hell broke loose, you know, because we just see the shame in the church and all of those things. But at the end of the day, it's a compassion. She's compassionate and she will stick by her granddaughter no matter what. And so it goes through all that motion. It's very, very emotional, very intense once, you know, we get the news that actually our granddaughter is pregnant and who she's pregnant for. In our eyes, you know, we know that the family would never accept it, but in our own way, we will go to see what they will, you know, what will happen if they accept the child, which of course they slam the door in our faces and turn us away and stuff like that. So that's Miss Lou.
All right.
Yeah, my name is Nogo Morris.
Okay.
and I play the great-grandfather, grandfather.
Okay, so husband?
Husband,
okay.
And I'm also a deacon.
Okay.
And who believe, as a matter of fact, Marcia said it's all. She said everything about me, which is how it is. Anyways, what I'm saying is that I played the grandfather of these two nice.
Okay. No, you play the grandfather of her, but the great grandfather.
Okay.
Yes. And it's kind of touching to me, seeing what happened, and I know that cannot happen. So I become sort of what do I call it now? Not violent, but I would go the depth, to make sure that no shame come over our family, So I just defend my family, with my wife.
All right.
So that's me.
Fair enough.
And my character is Mr. Roy Perkins.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, my name is Stacey Ann Buchanan, and I play the role of Sarah Perkins.
Okay.
I am the granddaughter to Ms.
Okay. Got that?
Yes.
And this is my daughter. These are my daughters. And,
no, but they're the same person.
They're the same person. And I played a young and somewhat naive Sarah Perkins that fell in love with Mr. Jonathan Bonovich Jr.
Okay.
And I am the mongrel that she does not want to see around her son because
there you go.
Now, are these your daughters?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Or daughter, I guess.
It's kind of a twist in the play, and yeah, these are my loving grandparents that stood by me. Like, there's an emotional, I would say, like a roller coaster in the play, and when I have to face the facts that I have to bring this child by myself, and my grandparents are there to step in and help me throughout the play. So.
Well, Marcia, it certainly sounds like a very complicated yet very interesting story that I think a lot of people might be able to relate to.
Of course, because even though the storyline may sound like it is intense, and it will take you there, but it's coated with so much humor that from the start of the play, beginning of the play, there's just non-stop laughter, but you're not going to miss the mark. There's tears, as some people watching the play say, I don't even know, I just move from laughter to tears so easily. 1 minute I'm crying and the next minute I'm keeling over in laughter. And it's just the way, the delivery, the colorful, the characters, how they're colored, what each person brings to the table, the lines are witty. And so, you can't help just, as Leonie Forbes, if I can call her name, she said, I just sat at the edge of my seat, just waiting to see what's going to happen next. And so it's that type.
Yeah, it sounds great. Now, let's get into the production process. I'm sure the first question everyone's going to have is, why are you two sharing the role? What's the reason, or? Because this doesn't normally happen. Normally, there's an understudy or something. So.
Well, Kayla started the role, and I don't know. I'm not sure how long you've been doing it before I came, but when I came, it was because it takes off the load off of her.
Yeah, because they're both in school.
We're both in school.
They're both in school, and it got very hectic for Kayla, and I want it to be a fun experience for them. They're young, and they have schoolwork, and so you don't want, oh my God, I gotta go tonight. Even though they enjoy it, but I still want it to be a fun experience for them. And so I said, because now the play is actually running, and we have so many other shows, and so to have two of them alternating the role, they're not at least, when she leaves school, like Friday evening, to, oh my gosh, I gotta do the show, then I have homework and that sort of thing. So that's why we decided to alternate the role.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys are having fun sharing it together. Can I ask this just kind of open question to anyone, maybe what you felt the biggest bump in the rehearsal process was, or biggest struggle?
Ask the young people.
Yeah, I mean, it's open to anyone.
I'd say just maintaining that emotional level in some of the scenes that I'm in. And especially for my character, because I age at least 16 years.
Wow.
In the second half of the play.
Wow.
So I gotta do things like, you know, like lower my voice.
Yeah.
And, just maybe like a different posture as opposed to maybe like a 17 or 18-year-old. So I found that was most difficult for my character.
Yeah, that's definitely a big challenge to get to. Anybody else have a big bump in the rehearsal process they want to share? I mean, acting isn't all easy, fun, and games.
For me, I wouldn't say it's a bump, but it's something you have to maintain, because I am an easy, happy-go-lucky person who likes to play comical role.
Okay.
And this role, as some people would say it's comical, a lot of people laugh, but then you have to be very straight face
very
woman,
serious,
very serious woman who everybody hates.
Right.
And you have to keep that momentum from beginning of the play to the end.
Right.
And like Jason says, everybody aged.
Yes.
16 years in the second half.
That's
so
a big
you have to
jump.
be that same woman they call her, you brute, whatever, you devil. You have to be that antagonizing person who roots and get under everybody's skin in the play, and you have to keep it and maintain it to the end of the play.
Yes.
Letna has the most challenging role, I would say, in the play, because it's a character that the audience hates. And there are many nights that they just spit out things at her, you know, like very hateful stuff, and it's because they're so engrossed in the play.
Absolutely.
So they will say, "You wicked woman," and, you know, box her down and call her all kinds of names. No. And other actresses, I know some actresses who take those things personally.
Yeah.
You know, they don't see that I'm playing a character. No, Letna is a real trooper, you know, because she said when she come off stage, she said, "I want them cuss me." You know, it means that
it means you're doing your role correctly.
When we went on the Carnival cruise party cruise in October, November, and we did the play the last night of the cruise, and we played in front of about 1,900 people, and at curtain call, everybody was booing me when I came out. Not booing me because I didn't do a good job. They booed me because I was excellent, and they hated me.
Yeah.
They hate, and people come to me at times and said, you know, Letna, I love you, but I hated you in the play. You know, I hated you in the play. I want to see, and even recently I did a cancer surgery, and we had a show on the 7th of January, Marcia. And when Marcia told him that I couldn't do the show, people were quite upset about it, that I would never be able to do the show on that day.
Oh no.
Because a lot of people wanted to see this hateful Mrs. Bonovich.
Yeah.
But I did the show.
Yeah.
Because don't care what is happening to me, don't care how low I feel and how upset I am. Once that stage light hits you and the adrenaline start running, I totally forget what I'm doing, because when I go on stage, it's not Letna you sing on stage. Whatever character I'm playing, that is the person you will see and have to deal with on stage.
Absolutely. And yeah, I applaud you for having that strength to continue on after surgery. That shows dedication to your role.
Because this is the best play in Toronto to date.
All right.
Play. When you look at all the plays, whether they come from America, or them come from England, or they come from downtown Toronto Theatre District, none, bar none, can compare to I Need to Know My Father. And I'm saying this with pride. And we have to give Marcia Brown the kudos, because Marcia Brown did this on her own, without financial backing from any corporation.
And now look where you are.
Yeah, she's done this on her own. She has put her own finances on the line. She has mortgaged everything she has to put the play to fruition. And the play has been a success. And we're encouraging people to come out and see the play, because you are in the play.
Well, maybe you guys can tell me where it's playing or where it's played.
Who else want to talk?
We've played the Jamaican Canadian Center. We've played some in some schools. We had approximately, how much was it? About 6 or 8 runs at the beginning, starting from about June and ended in September.
We started June and then we brought it back.
Then we brought it back in
wow.
September again. And we've brought it even back again this year.
Yeah.
So we have 2 shows coming up. We have one on the 12th.
Okay.
One on the 18th. That I don't know the names of the places.
The 12th of February, we are performing for the Alliance of Jamaica.
Okay.
And that will be in Scarborough at the St. Peter and Paul Banquet Hall.
Okay.
That's Valentine's week sort of thing, you know.
Milner and Markham Road.
Yeah. And then on the 18th of February, we are performing in Mississauga for the Kingdom Covenant Center. That's a church formerly known as Deeper Life. And then on the March the 10th, we are performing it for another church. And what's the name of that church? I can't remember right now, but my website has all the information. And then in March 31, we're performing it for Revival Time Tabernacle and for Pastor James.
Yes.
And then in April, we have so many churches, because what is happening with the play is that the more we play it, is the more people, the word is just getting out there. And what I like now is that the churches are jumping on board, because one church member comments the play, they go back and tell the church, you got to see this play, you have to bring this play. So that is what is happening now. The churches are now buying into it, and they're the ones who are calling us to bring the play and perform it for them.
Wow, it certainly sounds like picking up.
The play deals with forgiveness,
Yes.
redemption. Like Nago is a deacon of the church, and his wife is the deacon's wife, and she is highly spiritual. There are scriptures that are quoted in the play, you know. Marcia quotes some scripture, Nago quotes some scripture. Mrs. Bonovich at the end, who admits that she knew the scripture, but she don't practice it.
She never used to practice
it, but she knows, because I mean, as a woman growing up in Jamaica, every Jamaican child goes to church at one point in their life. They goes to church, so they have this spiritual background in them. But once you start to climb the ladder and go up the ladder of self-actualization and feel that you are bigger than you put down certain things, and you start to look into different directions for fame. And this is what Mrs. Bonovich did. She found this rich man, very eloquent man, very
I
promising,
think he's agreeing with you back
his
there.
own business, and who puts her on the map.
You know what? And before you know it, she forget where she's coming from.
She forget where she's coming from. Yes.
All of that. And pry and just get into this world, you know, where she think that she is, you know, she is bigger than life, you know, and then she's brought down low.
Yeah, they have a saying in Jamaica that says it's a hell of a thing when dishcloth turn tablecloth. So what it means is that the little rag that you use to wash the plates, you wash it and it becomes clean, and you use it to make your tablecloth now to serve people on. So that is what Mrs. Bonovich is.
Okay.
You know, she has moved up and she's forgotten where she's from. And it's amazing that the same woman and granddaughter who cleans her house, makes her bed, do her dishes, cook her food, they cannot even sit in her couch to eat.
So it's kind of a rags to riches story.
Yes. But she come back down.
Wow. I think you're giving away too much of the play there. You want people to come see it, right?
That's right. She's actually forced back down. She not come back down. She's forced back down.
Because of circumstances.
And we won't say what the
circumstances are. No, we won't go there.
Don't give away the whole play here.
No.
It's funny though, because I was looking at this microphone and it says real people, real issues, real results.
That is our slogan here at Remake TV.
This is what this play is all about.
Yeah.
It's about real people, real issues, especially within the Caribbean community of fatherless homes. Right? Real issues, real people. And it touches people on so many levels that they come up afterwards, after the show, and say, you're talking about me.
Right? Everybody can relate.
That is my story. Everybody can relate to the story, but there's so many little nuances, so many little things going on that is just incredible. It touches people on so many levels. When you're on stage, you try not to look in the eyes because they can captivate you, right? And they can throw you off. But sometimes you glance and you see people crying, and you see people laughing, and you see people grab onto the person beside them. It's just incredible to sometimes glimpse that, but it touches on so many levels that anybody can relate to it.
And plus, another thing with this play, which I really love, is that the togetherness of the cast. Everybody is supporting, you know, like everybody support each other, and you know, it's a warm feeling with the cast. And I must say, you know, this is one of the best cast I've ever worked with, because everybody's like, it's my daughter, it's my wife. It's,
when we come into the evening, you know, we don't say, you know, hi Nago or whatever, the kids, the young ones, they say hi grandpa, hi grandma.
Everybody is just one, you know.
And Mrs. Bonovich has to get her kiss from Mr. Bonovich.
She has to.
Yes, a hi husband, you know, so
she gets me to brush her hair.
Into the mic. No, you have something to say.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that when they were speaking about how it really touches everybody on every level, it really does. Even like a lot of youth that have come to see it, I have a lot of friends that came to see it. It's touched them deeply, especially because most of them live in fatherless homes, and they can relate to absolutely everything that they've seen in the play, and it's touched them deeply on a lot of levels. So I just wanted to add that to them. Yeah, it's not just adults; it touches a lot of youths too.
Which is always the point of a successful play.
Kevin made a point about Kevin made a point about the Caribbean community. It just not lends itself to the Caribbean community, because every community have fatherless homes. Every community. There are, as I was saying to Marcia the other day, I heard on the news where this young man was saying that his mother dated a former Prime Minister of Canada, and all he told her was that his name was John, and the DNA came out, but unfortunately he is not the father. So we all have our issues. There are children going about and adults going about in this world. You don't have to be Jamaican, you don't have to be Caribbean, wherever you're from, without fathers because of things that happen. And I mean, we don't just want the Caribbean community to come out and see this play. We want a wide cross section. We want white, we want blacks, we want Indian, we want Chinese, we want Greek, we want everybody to come out and see this play, because it touches on issues that everybody can deal with. And don't worry about the language, you will understand. Because of course Mrs. Bonovich and her family speaks standard the language. English, Standard English.
Right.
And Sarah, Lisa speaks standard English, and when they communicate with the Bonovichers, you will understand, because the response is going to be in standard English, so you will know exactly what was communicated. And Mr. and Mrs. Perkins do try to speak a little English sometimes.
All right.
You know, especially when they're talking to the Bonovichers.
All right.
With my character Sarah, I've had a lot of people come up to me like after the play. A lot of women will say, you know what, that was me at 16, like teenage pregnancy, you know, that was me, that was my story. You were talking previously about a bump, like do we feel like there's a bump in our character? Yes. I have a really highly emotional scene, and that scene touches everyone, not just women, like everybody in it, because they can relate. And
every night.
Yeah, so when women come up and tell me that, it touches me, because it's a story. It's my aunt's story. It's my mom's story. It's so many stories, so many people that can relate to it. So I just wanted to share that.
Now, you mentioned that this is being played in a lot of churches, but it's not strictly a religious production.
Because it's not a religious, like you would say, Jesus saves.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you know, it's about the content of the play.
Right.
You know, and it's clean, you know, and it speaks about forgiveness, you know, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Because even though it's about fathers, we're not bashing men. are putting them down. You know, there's some truths in what we're saying. Like when the Lisa character talks about why it is important for every child to know who their father is, you know, that resonates with everyone in the audience, you know, and she gets a lot of applause, you know, how the story works around in her favor. It also shows that no matter where you are in life, you should never give up, because she says at the end of the play, you know, I've been dreaming, and God, you are so amazing. So it brings out a lot of themes, you know, from a Christian perspective. So while it's not a religious play, it has biblical truths and facts in it for you to empower you as a person and empower young people as well, because we could have played the stereotype that, okay, the mother got pregnant and she's from a poor family, and so she's gonna go get, I mean, based on how she's raised, she may come up and get pregnant at 16 again. We did not play that. We actually showed that she's a brilliant child, and despite the fact that she's coming from that poor upbringing, she was able to go to one of the best schools, and she took her education so seriously that, you know, she's going on to university at 16. You know, so it shows you that you don't have to, because of your circumstance, you have to delve into that and say there's no better for me or whatever. So it shows a lot of, you know, Christian-like and just human behavior and how you're supposed to be positive about.
Yes, and it certainly is an amazing message to portray to audiences everywhere. Does anyone feel like they are, let's start with the most like their character? Or very similar to their character that they're playing? Oh!
Kevin, I look funny.
No. I wouldn't say that I'm most like my character.
Yeah.
I'm like my character in the way that I can be very introvert, right?
Okay.
I can be very reserved, right? I can, you know, kind of look around and reserve. So the character that I play, even though he's very emasculated, he's not to the point where he's just cowing down, right? And that's why he comes out in the second end, in the second part of the show, where he actually is a very powerful scene where you can see him. It's almost like it's a rebirth. It's like a phoenix coming out from the ashes, pretty much, where he is a man again. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
He comes out, he says, I'm here. Yeah. Right? So pretty much, I wouldn't say that. And at the same time, I saw people that, people would come up afterwards and say, you know, you play that role a little too well. What's going on at home? And you have to say to them, no. It's a role that you play. You immerse yourself in the character, and you bring that character out.
Well, thank you guys very much for coming on the show. I know we had some scheduling issues, but I'm glad that you all got together and are on the show. So Marcia, just quickly, where can we find information about the play if we want to buy tickets?
Well, my website is marciabrownproductions.com. Marcia Brown Productions.
And it'll be on the bottom of your screen, don't worry.
That is the website is up, it'll be updated, you know, as soon as there's a new performance coming up. You go there and you will find that information. You can reserve tickets online. Most of the performances we're doing now, there are no tickets in the outlets. They're being sold by the churches. But you can go online and make your reservation, and there's also information line for each of the performances. Just go there. All the 4 performances that we have coming up, it's listed there. So that's the best place to go right now.
All right. Well, sounds great.
It's there as well.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming on the show, and break a leg in the coming months. So if you want to see I Need to Know My Father, go to that website on the bottom of your screen. And until then, thank you for watching Remake TV. I'm Jasmine Bowen, and I'll catch you next time.
I need to know my father. I need to know my father. Hey, I need to know my father.
I do need to know my father.
So like this place is full of echo.
I'll leave Texas in a minute, come right back to Canada, finish, man.
Everybody should demand this play in their town.
I need to know my father.
Excellent, fabulous. It's very emotional.
I like that it was a mix. Like there was a bit of emotion, there was a lot of raw comedy.
There's laughter. It's clean.
It was a fantastic show.
I laughed till I cried.
Come and see it.